let's maybe see if Steve could pull this match up. I think it might have been clip 8, as we said. Clip 8. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Watch. Look, he's just bullying him already. Just bullying him. And I just remember this was like, oh, there's nowhere they can go. Oh.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely. The approach...
Ole never stops moving forward. He's aggressive, and that's the way you get out of it, is you duck and dodge, and that makes you the underdog from the get-go. You can't articulate that, but you see it as a viewer, you know.
And then Arn steps in like a tough guy. I mean, look at just the burly nature and the size.
You see what's
and
going
the
down
force.
now? Arn saw Tommy Young turn his back and immediately went and cut Robert off, and now we're into some heat, and it was done cheaply. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And now,
see him. How they kind of just go back and forth a lot, especially the cage. You can't do too much, but man, what a
there's a different realness and aggression going on right here. You 100%. Feel like the stakes are high right now.
Yes, it was a big fight feel, and it was they didn't have the big beautiful cages back then, but it was Rock and Roll Express versus the Andersons inside a steel cage. And it was, you're going to see in some of this, they're going to shut Ricky down here and beat the crap out of him, and it's just heart wrenching. You know what I mean? But like you said, Ryan, you can see they have to keep fighting to get out of there. He comes in, bing, bang, boom, but they'll shut him down too somehow.
It's just watching the strikes is what's really so impressive of watching the old school of how much people worked on it. Took a big bump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, look, if you – and it's kind of that way today, but not to the extent. If you don't have a good punch – you dang sure ain't going to be a baby face. You know what I mean? Like, that was just the way it was. And nowadays you can get away with, but even Daniel Bryan started throwing good punches, and he worked on that when he was the champion, and we had him that weed title or the hemp title, whatever it was.
Yep.
He worked on his punch. Look at that shot right there. See, that's it, man.
See, for me, that makes it look a little small. The tighter works it for me. That made it look a little too small, and now as we get tight into it, I feel the larger than life connection take place.
Yeah, I totally get that, but I know that they're somewhere, and it's probably sold out. You know what I mean? And so there's people out there, you just couldn't see them in that shot. But I see what you're saying for sure.
I also love the way that every time Arn stepped into the ring, he kind of spread the lads, bowed it up a little bit. Made himself big.
It's mannerisms. It's body language. It's everything a person can see. How do I tell the story to the viewer without saying a word? And so it's literally every move you do in there, from step to whatever, has to be calculated. You know what I mean? You have to be thinking about that because people can see you. And so what are you going to do to make it look like you're really in a contest, like you're really in a physical altercation? And that's what Arn's doing.
Yeah, we just saw a great technical exchange of chain wrestling, counter, and then Ricky popped Arn in the face. Just once again, bringing that realness of, as you said, it's a fight. It's not about showing a showcase of fancy moves. It's about trying to put the other man down and win.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they got heat on Robert here. Because that was a good heat spot.
Yep.
I just can't believe they mixed up the old tried and true heat on Ricky. But Ricky throws a hell of a comeback. You know what I mean? So you never can tell. And they may do double heat. You know what I mean? I don't think we should watch the whole thing because it might get really long. But I'm dang sure love watching it and just talking about the wrestling. You see, he just never lets up. You know what I mean? Like Robert's always trying to get to his corner, and the bad guy is always stopping him. You know what I mean? And that's it has to be that way, or else, again, I can't articulate it, but as a viewer, I can see they're not trying to hurt each other at all. You know what I mean? And I think somewhere along the line, we got to get back to that a little bit. You know what I mean? It can still be an acrobatics act if you want to.
As we transition later in the episode to the Mount Rushmore, we're going to get into essentially favorite and top teams that you have. Let's talk about your own matches. Was there any match or matches where you got to wrestle some of your favorite guys? When you got to the arena?
Ricky's getting color.
There we go.
He just got his blade. So I was right. It's a bloody selling Ricky Morton. I thought I had it right anyway. But yeah, you saw him. He just ran right into that fence, right down, and then you'll see Tommy Young probably get something from him in a second.
Make the exchange.
Yeah, or he may put it back in his tights or in his mouth. I don't know. just
The whole
crazy
mouth thing
stuff.
always
But
wilded me out.
yeah, it was wilded me out too. But like, look, and now it's people crying in the front row. You know what I mean? Now it's the, oh my God, they got him.
Their heroes are getting hurt, pummeled, mutilated,
Yeah,
decimated,
and beaten
all of it.
bloody
Yep.
by these two bully brutes. You know what I mean? The Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
So going back to you and your chance to wrestle some of your favorite teams that you may even have on your list of Mount Rushmore, were there any teams in particular that stood out when you got to the arena? It was like, this is like a dream come true. These were my favorites.
Well, look, I got to work with Booker T and Stevie Ray a lot early on, and they were some of my favorites watching. They had just gotten started, and by the time I got in there, I got to work with them a lot. Loved working with the Road Warriors because they were, and we'll find out that they were definitely on my Mount Rushmore, and I got to work with them, and then what they did for me in my career, out of selflessness, is goes without saying. It's will never be forgotten. You know.
Cool. I mean, as we're skimming through a little bit, kind of getting to the finish.
Yeah, but you
seeing
see, they've got the dog injured. They've got the guy down, injured and bleeding, and.
86. I was 10 years old watching this at this time. And this is what I was a huge NWA fan. I watched everything I could, but it was just something about the realism and the grit and the rawness.
I mean, do you see? He took the buckle with his shoulder, sold his shoulder, and Ole went right to this. And this is just an arm bar, but it's placed specifically in that spot to magnify the injured shoulder, and then he did it rough looking, and
yeah,
just an arm
absolutely
bar.
Putting his full body into it with torque and twisting
and moving and body English, and it just looks like, oh my God, how's he going to continue? His arm's going to fall off. You know what I mean?
Dropped it down, delivered an aggressive and pounding stomp, and then tags in
yes,
Arn
everything.
as they continue to double team it.
Poor
Hammerlock slam here.
Poor Ricky Morton.
I was always a big fan of Hammerlock body slam too.
Oh yeah. I was always
looking.
Scared to take it because I didn't
It's
know.
Scary looking.
Yeah, it is. The same with rappelling. Like rappelling, you have to put your hand behind your back or the rope won't stop. And so I just don't believe that'll work like that. Oh, DDT, double down. Oh.
And then Ole just stops him with aggression.
Yeah, there. I figure
there's just such intensity behind it right there. And then just no letting off when the referee comes in.
But see, now we're right back into, we had a Cool Hope spot with a DDT and everything. Arn selling. Now look, Ole's just in there. There was no tag, so that's heat. You know what I mean? It was just.
So looking at this area.
But see how Arn is still selling the DDT from a minute ago. You know what I mean? And so he'll continue to sell that until he gets tagged back in. And that's. Look, he's over there barely hanging on. You know what I mean? Like moving his appendages and stuff. Like, am I still here? So that's the kind of mindset you got to be working from when you break that curtain and you break it again coming back. You're working in between, at all points in between.
Amazing stuff. I think let's just transition to a finish and we'll get out of this one right here.
Oh, look at Ricky. He's got good color and that blonde hair. Always. Look, still working the arm. You know what I mean? This is heat in a cage match, and they're working the arm. One of the matches
and for a long time.
Yes, one of the matches I'm going to talk about, and it's actually apropos, and I didn't know this, was like the look, the big knee. There's the heat. But like New Day and the Usos, when they had that Hell in the Cell match, they did so many awesome, innovative things. But it just makes me think, rewind 30 years, and they had an armbar in the middle of the cage, and it was really serious. You know what I mean?
Once again, for those that can see, you'll see the pressure of that armbar. Just a simple armbar, but it doesn't look like a simple armbar. It looks like he's trying to tear his arm out of socket.
Yes, and that's Ole Anderson for you. And also Ricky is bleeding like a stuck pig. And so there they go into the quick comeback. Is probably a double knockout.
And there it is.
That is my favorite spot in tag team wrestling because I'll shoot a guy off and I'll say drop down, turn around. And all I do is drop down one time. He leaps over me. I spin around as I stand up and we double knockout. And I literally, man, I got it from there. because I love this match, but I love that spot too. Billy hates it. He used to yell at me because I was lazy. Because I'd do the same spot every time.
Both men working for the tag, and this is the hot tag build. No, it's cut off right there. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. And look, that's over time you can evolve that too. Once it's established that that's the hot tag, oh, here it goes, here it goes. Oh, and you take it away from me again. It's just building anticipation for the actual hot tag. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot people are not watching on YouTube, and we're just going off about how great the match is.
No, but you're calling the action and kind of giving the breakdown of what and why things are happening.
Trying to. And again, it's all under the pretenses of psychology, tag team wrestling.
And this is what you love so much to see.
Oh, God. And look at Arn, too. Arn was so good.
The missed staggered punches just seemed believable.
Oh, yeah, because he threw them believable. Look, Ricky fell down.
In a non-wrestling bump way, too.
Did you see that? I mean, and now, so all they did was add that one cool spot where Ricky looked even tougher, and I thought they got me right there.
And
they got
knocking him out of the ring into the cage.
Yeah.
I keep saying him. I should say Ricky.
Ricky, yeah, pronouns. God, pronouns, Ryan Katz.
But that's a great ruined watching wrestling now.
It's a great point though. If you do say him, there's 5 hymns in the ring right now. So look at they're just listening. They're just working and listening. And I'll let you punch me for as long as they're coming, Ricky. And look, how are they? You know, Ricky may have done some single stuff after this because it really seems like they were putting the onus on him for really fighting through these two guys and kind of not saying I quit. You know what I mean?
Right. Big scoop. Oh, here comes Robert, though, with the drop kick. There's your tandem drop kick maneuver. Ricky with the cover.
And that was the finish. See, that's what that was. And so now you can go 10 different directions. And here's the way we go is the way of heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have the baby faces scoot out of there like they stole one, or you got them locked in there. Now let's set in some heat. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing. So yeah, we could probably get out of there. Look at them. That's heat too, as the baby faces have to run away. You know what I mean? Like hurry, get out of here while we have our lives.
Yeah. Crawling
yeah,
out
but
of the
I don't know.
cage,
It was just world tag team champions, man.